I think when you come accustomed to eating so much, you don't know how to stop. But I'm the one portioning her food. And in the past, I have enabled her. It became a pattern for me. If she wanted it, I would get it. No wasn't in my vocabulary. You know, I always tried to give them what they wanted when I could. So, of course, I enabled her. I didn't know how to stop, just like she didn't know how to stop. I'm going to say most of the time I'll give in. So basically, I'm still not saying no. Sorry it took so long. Food is my only escape from the misery I have. You know, once I start, I don't want to stop. So, eat as much as I want. After I eat, I'll snack. I snack all day. Only time I'm not snacking is if I'm eating a meal or if I'm asleep. Well, I eat as much as I can, and I love it. I love everything about it except how I know it's killing me and taking my life from me. Because at my size now, my life is hard, but I don't want it to get to the point where it's unbearable. I'm already shocked. I even let it get to the point that I'm at now because I never thought I'd end up like this. I struggled with my weight all my life, but when I was really young, I was a happy, fun, loving kid. Those were happy times, and I felt like we had a happy family too then. Growing up, it was just me and my brother and my mom. In my earlier years, my dad was involved. So my home life and my family was good then. But when I was 9 is when things started going bad financially for us. We didn't have money to take care of the house, pay the rent, and I found out later that my dad had got addicted to drugs and he started using the money for drugs. So my mom's dad lived in Texas, and he told my mom he would help her start over. So we left California. We moved to Texas. My dad stayed in California, so it was just me, my brother, and my mom. But you know, as a kid, it was very hard. I didn't know anyone. All of our family was back in California. I didn't have any friends. So food became all I had for a while. That was how I dealt with the loneliness in my life then, by eating. And so that's when I started gaining. And by the time I was 10, I probably weighed about 150. My mom never put me on a diet, and she never restricted my food, and she never made a comment about my weight. Even when I saw my weight increasing, she never said anything. And I saw the weight gain, but I ignored it. I ignored it because I was happy when she was happy. I knew that the food was hurting her. I really did. So, of course, I feel bad and guilty. And, you know, I do hold myself responsible a lot because I really didn't know what to do myself. As I got older, of course, the weight went up. And so in junior high, I was probably about 250. And I put on another 100 pounds over the next 2 or 3 years. And so by the time I graduated, I know I was in the 300s. So I was bigger, but my weight didn't feel like it was out of control then, or that it was really holding me back at that point. So after high school, I moved away to college, but I didn't like being away, and I missed my mom like crazy. So I came back home because I didn't want to be away from her anymore. But right after I came back, I find out that she had a drug addiction and she wanted to get help for it. So my mom went to a rehabilitation center in California. To be honest, I never knew that she was on drugs until she went to the rehabilitation center. When she left to go to California, I felt sad. I felt alone because my brother was in college, my mother was in California, and I was back here in Wichita Falls, Texas, by myself. The only two people that had been my world were gone. So I used food for my comfort again and kept gaining some more. And by the time I was 19, I was just over 350 then. And I could still function and do things without too much trouble. But I met someone at that time, Victor, and we started to date. He was my friend's uncle, and he was a very handsome, very, very loving man. I loved him very much, and I just enjoyed him. It was a very happy time in my life. And when I was with him was when I had my 3 children. First, my oldest, Deontay. Then a year after that, I had my daughter, Serenity. And then 2 years after that, I had my youngest, Alizé. I got to be over 400 pounds over those years by the time I was 22. But even though I was getting bigger, Victor never, ever commented about my weight. He only made me feel loved. He made me feel beautiful. So I loved being with him. And me and Victor were together for 5 years, almost 6. At that time, I was trying to go back to school so I could have a career. He was working. He had started a job where he was working overnight. So we weren't spending any time together. So I think we just basically grew apart, but we never lost our friendship. And we still loved each other very much. And he was still very involved with our children. So it wasn't a bad breakup. But what caused me to spiral after that was a couple of years later when he died tragically. I'll never forget the moment I found out what had happened. He was murdered. He had a jealous girlfriend. She thought if he would come and see his children, he was with me. And she stabbed him with a knife twice in the heart. And when I heard that, I was devastated. I had never experienced loss. Not like that. I didn't know what to do. So I just started eating to deal with the pain and to try to make it go away. I was 27 when I started doing that. So by the time I was in my 30s, I was over 500 pounds. And now I'm 41, and I know I have to be over 600 because I'm getting immobile. So I can't take care of myself. But I have grandkids now, and I want to play a very active role in both of their lives. My oldest is Demarion. He turned 1 in August, and my oldest daughter, Serenity, has her son, Caden, who's 5 months old. Here's your bottle. Okay. I want them to know me. I just want them to be able to remember doing things with me and not just look on the wall and say, oh, there's a picture of her. I want to be able to take them places and not just sitting on the sideline. But food is taking my ability to do that from me. And I don't know how to shake that because I decided to stop and change. But the hunger pains come and the depression I have. You got a big boy? You all done. You drink all the milk up. And then the craving comes and I feel like I just can't get away from it. You can't get away from food. You have to have it so it's always around. They use food to celebrate. Every event, birthday party, wedding, funeral, food. So you're always around your addiction. So how can you stop when it's like that? Oh.
Did he already eat? He ate it all?
Yeah, he did. He did
So
good.
why don't you just order online?
Burgers, chicken, what?
My mom is missing out on her life. It kind of just hit her here recently with me having a child, because if I'm sick and I'm not able to help with my child, she wants to help, but it's hard for her, with her being that size. She would like to help more, but she just can't. You placed the order?
Yes.
All right.
I got the 25 tender meal, 5-piece fried fish. I got fries and mashed potatoes and a family okra, some chocolate chip cookies with it.
Okay.
I can hardly wait for it to get here. Food probably gonna be here in a minute. Would you get my tray for me?
Yeah, it's in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind my bed.
Okay.
There's so much of the world that I have yet to see. But instead of being out in the world, I'm trapped here as a burden to my family. They say I'm not, but I feel like it. Especially when I have to ask for something that I should be able to do myself. And it's miserable to have to constantly feel like you're only bringing problems and struggles to your family. But then it hurts too much to get up and do what you want. So I know something has to change. I have to change. If I don't do something different, I could very well die. Because my body parts could give out at any moment. My heart could stop. My lungs could stop. Even my knees could give out and I fall, hit my head, break my neck, or in a very near future, I will lay in that bed and die because I am drowning myself with the food. And I know I am definitely at a crossroad and I have to do something now, or I'm not gonna make it.